Welcome back to this edition of Grizzlies Daily. I'm your host Melek, and this is Monday. We are officially 2 weeks away from preseason basketball. It's the 22nd. It is the first preseason game. It's October 6th, and I couldn't be more excited. I am ready for Grizzlies basketball, and I'm so happy to bring y'all an update. So I told y'all we're going to be on the lookout for reevaluations or just updates from players that, you know, dealing with injuries and stuff like that. One of them being Cedric Coward. So this is from multiple media sources. Cedric Coward is 100% clear for all basketball activities. He's a full go in training camp and really excited about not being able to play. Well, yeah, he's really excited about training camp after not being able to play in summer league. This is the update we have been waiting to see. Ever since they drafted Cedric Coward, we've all been wondering when would he be available, especially with that shoulder injury being a factor. So very happy to see that he is going to be okay and ready for training camp. That means he's going to develop properly. Obviously, you would love to have him play in the summer league, but things happen and you move on from it. Now he has a different opportunity to really take advantage and make a name for himself. So I'm really excited to see what Cedric Coward can bring to the table. Hopefully that shoulder doesn't really limit him that much, but I'm very excited to see what he can bring to the team, and very excited to hear the updates that we hear regarding regarding him in training camp, because I feel like he's going to be he's going to be watched heavily, and I'm here for it. Sorry if my voice is gone, by the way. Went to the Memphis Grizzlies game on Saturday. Lost my voice there, so bear with me. I'm gonna try to make this as best as I can. Right now, if I raise the tone up in my voice, it's gonna crack. So I'm letting y'all know that right now. So that's Cedric Coward. Still waiting to hear about Zach Edey and Jaren Jackson Jr. Even though we kind of did get an update. We kind of got an update on Brandon Clark, but right now we're just waiting to hear about Zach Edey and Jaren Jackson. So as soon as we get those updates, I'll let y'all know. Now, in the time, we do want to talk about the roster and younger guys. Obviously, the Grizzlies did sign PJ Hall to a two-way contract. He did stand out in summer league. If you didn't know, he really did. He played very well. He averaged 9.5 points a game, 5.6 rebounds, and 1.6 blocks in just 13 minutes a game. And he was very efficient with 69% field EFG. I'm sorry, off the top of my head, I don't remember what EFG necessarily means. I know it, but I just don't remember. It's basically like true shooting. So he was very efficient. From what I saw in the film, he can guard. I'm not gonna say he can guard all positions, but he really can guard a position outside of the paint. So that's something that I saw that was very, 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 very going about not PJ Hall. So yeah, I definitely like his game. He's good inside the paint as well on offense. That's something that even back in Clemson he was very good at. So can't really say too much about him right there. Something else that I'm reading off this list of notes. He's very good at getting rebounds during contests. So that's something that's definitely going to be helpful if he gets the opportunity. And obviously, with Jaren and Zach Edey hurt, the Grizzlies are probably going to lean more towards the depth that they have. So I wouldn't be surprised if BJ Hall did get some time, especially in the beginning of the season. So that's something that I'm really looking forward to if that does happen. And overall, PJ Hall, from what I've seen, he is a good fit for Easlow's system, especially being a guy that can work well in the pick and roll, because as you know, Easlow loves a pick and roll offense, especially between Ja, Zach Edey. So definitely something to look out for. So I wouldn't be surprised if they threw PJ Hall in just for that kind of play, because he really does bring that level of talent. So I'd look out for PJ Hall. He definitely brings a lot to the table, especially for a guy that's on the two-way. He just needs the right opportunity, and he's probably going to get that opportunity, especially with the injuries that the Grizzlies are dealing with. So that's something right there. Now, switching gears, I did see a post that's circulating on social media. I have it pulled up right here. it's 3 realistic trade targets for the Grizzlies, according to Yahoo Sports. We talked about some more trade options last week. Now we're talking about some this week. So one of them being Jonathan Isaac. Now, if you're talking, I know we did say front court depth. So logically, this would be a good move. Now the only thing is the trade off of Jonathan Isaac that really makes me afraid is offensively. He's not the best offensive guy, but defensively, he's still got the talent. Now I will say durability is a good question. Jonathan Isaac has dealt with multiple injuries that have kept him out for a long, significant time. So that's something that I worry about when it comes to him. Other than that, I mean, I could see why they list him as a target because he does fit the needs for the Grizzlies, but at the same time, he doesn't necessarily. He just doesn't stand out to me. You know, I feel like the risk and reward for that just isn't what the Grizzlies should get. You know, the other one being Sam Hauser. Now, they listed him as a key piece off the bench for the Grizzlies. Now, with the second apron essentially hurt in the Boston Celtics the way that they did, I wouldn't be surprised if the Grizzlies did go after Sam Hauser. Now, granted, I think you get that same level of energy and shooting from Sam Hauser out of Cam Spencer. So I don't think he's needed to be traded for unless you just want a guy that has some championship level experience. I really can't think of why you would go after Sam Hauser, but at the same time, I mean, look, we've seen some unpredictable things, so I wouldn't be surprised if this was a potential rumor in the future. It's just, look, players get tied to the Grizzlies and things just go all over the place. So, I mean, Sam Hauser listed as a target, but at the same time, you get all that in Cam Spencer. Unless I'm wrong, if y'all got any thoughts about Sam Hauser that I don't know about because I really don't watch the Celtics like that, make sure to let me know in the comments. Now, the next one, and this is probably the best one of them all, Melek Monk. Now, this is actually probably one of the more realistic ones. Now, granted, yes, it is another backcourt piece, but this is a veteran backcourt piece, someone that has played with multiple great players. And then one thing about Melek Monk is he probably isn't going to ask for that much money. So you could probably get him not a veteran's minimum, but you can get him on a good team-friendly contract if you were to trade for him. Yeah, I mean, really, that's all I have when it comes to that. We all know what Melek Monk is good at. He's very good at being an energy guy, another scorer. I think that's another thing you really have to consider is, do the Grizzlies want to really take that chance at getting another scorer? Because Melek Monk really can be that guy. So I'm not against the idea one bit, if I'm being honest. I just think it's just what they feel is best for the team. Because I mean, Malik Monk, he's a guy that a lot of teams should want, but for some reason, a lot of teams haven't picked him up. But I think he would be a good fit for the Grizzlies if they would ever trade for him. Obviously, if there was a world where you wanted to, move on from Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and swap a veteran out for another veteran, then fine by me. That's how I feel about that. So let me know y'all thoughts about those targets down below, and we'll talk more. So with the current roster, and I got some more notes. With the current roster, we really have to think, if for the Grizzlies to make it as far as they can, we have to remember that the Grizzlies have things that they need to work on. Now, we've talked about rebounding. We've talked about depth, but the main thing that really concerned me with the Grizzlies was the fact that they could not be contenders. There were times where we would literally, where if it was a lottery team, easy, the Grizzlies win. But that's towards that second half of the season. The Grizzlies could not beat a contending team at all. And that was a concern to me. I mean, you think about games against the Knicks, didn't go well. Games against the Celtics, didn't go well. Timberwolves, didn't go well. Lakers, didn't go well. Like, these are teams that, if you look at the top 5 teams in each conference, the Grizzlies were not that good. It's just that simple. I mean, sure, I thought they might have fixed it after that huge win over the Pistons, but after that, it never changed. And obviously, you get to the playoffs as the 8th seed against arguably one of the greatest number 1 seeds we've ever seen in Oklahoma City. trouble's going to happen. So the Grizzlies really need to figure out Izolo's system quickly, because if they can't compete against contenders, then you might as well just throw the season away as far as making the playoffs. That's just the reality that it is. So it's like, you really want to think about it and, get to that point, because the Grizzlies need to be. I would love the Grizzlies to not be a playing team this year, because if you're not a playing team, you have a lot more hope going forward. So if the Grizzlies can't make it out of the play-in, I feel like that's going to be a problem towards. That's going to be a problem that says a lot. Now, granted, yes, this is Izolo's first full season, so I get it. But at the same time, really got to figure this thing out, because you don't want to lose to contenders and try to make this playoff push, and the whole time you don't even got the talent for it. We don't want to repeat the last year. So that's my thoughts on that. But that's gonna be the wrap on this edition of Grizzlies Daily. Like I said, sorry for my voice. It will be back in the next edition, I promise. If y'all like this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you get notified every time we upload. And that's for this edition. I'll be signing off.